Antwerp with someone from Kataklysm. Can you please introduce yourself?
I'm JF, the guitar player. Very nice to meet you all.
Meditations came out in June. Can you tell us a bit more about writing and recording the album?
The Meditation album, one thing we did do different this go around is to actually write the music in the same room. Because in Kataklysm, we all live in different cities. We're very far apart. I live in Dallas, Texas. The singer lives in Chicago, and the other two are in Canada. So it makes it very hard to be together to write stuff. And the past few albums we did by computer, like exchanging files and things like that. But the Meditation album, we actually took some time in the same room and wrote the songs this way, and I think it gave the album a more lively feel or a different vibe that for me, I'm very happy and proud of it, and I think I hope we can keep writing in this manner for the next for the future records, because I think it's just more spontaneous. You can look at each other and just kind of have like that vibe like that you have as a group, and I think it shows on the record. You can feel it when you listen to it, and I'm very, very proud of it. The recording process was very smooth. We recorded everything in my studio in Texas, and we recorded the drums in Canada, and then we sent all the files to Jerry Ruston in Hollywood, and he did a killer mix for it, so I'm very happy about that.
Talk about the mix. The mixing was done by Jay Ruston, as you mentioned. Some of the fans seem to think that it was a bit overproduced in the way that it sounded a bit more industrial. How do you feel about that? Apparently the band has stated in previous interviews that you wanted to work with Jay because you want to renew on each album.
Actually, the reason why we chose Jay is we know he's more of an organic guy, and that's the sound we wanted. So it feels weird to me when people, like, because I know we had a few comments, they were like, man, it sounds electronic, and it's the other way around. It's the most real production we've done in years, because the past stuff we were very we went into like the highest technology possible. This one we went a bit more natural, and I think some of the songs, like the drummer is so precise that people think it's a machine, but it's not. It's real, and we play it live every night, and then people see it. It's like, oh, okay, he's doing it like the record. It's just how it sounds, but it's a very much natural, organic production. Yeah. So hopefully we were happy about it. I hope fans like it. So far we had a decent reaction, but we'll see. We know we like to move around from an album to an album, because we don't like to reproduce the same album every time. So we try to go different sounds, different producers, different sets of ears, and we don't know yet what we're gonna do for the next one. Maybe we may consider working with Jay again, because we had a good experience, but we might try something completely different. Who knows? We're not there yet, but
just came out. A lot of work. Is renewing on each album, is it a way to avoid getting bored with things, or is it also a way to push your limit?
Yes, exactly. That's my point. I want to improve, and I want to do a piece of art that's unique every time, and that, to me, that's important. I do not like bands that sound exactly the same on every record. It's nice in a way that it's comforting, because you know what you're going to expect from them, and it's just going to be the same old recipe. But we don't want to be that band that's like that. We want to keep moving forward and try to modernize and go with the times, and also go as, I don't like to say it like that, but like as we age as a musician, like we're still all like young adults, but we're of course getting more mature in age for sure, and we wanna do something that pleases us at our age and at our musical journey that we're on, and we want to try to make it relevant for us, and at the same time make it relevant for like newer fans or our fans that followed us through our career. But for us, it's a way to do that.
There's a digipack version available that also from last album that also contains a live DVD with 28 tracks. I tried to look it up from which concert it was, but I couldn't actually find it.
We did a tour last year. It was a year ago, and it was the 25th anniversary of the band. And for that tour, we picked two older albums that we never really played a lot lately, because a lot of fans are like, hey, why don't you play like older stuff? They're always asking us. And then for the like to celebrate the anniversary, we went ahead and played like 2 full records back to back, like old stuff from the early 2000s. And that's what that DVD was. It's the show in Munich from that tour.
Okay.
But we didn't do like a million dates for it. We did like, I think it was a month of touring, and we didn't want to. A lot of people wanted us to bring this tour worldwide and do the full circle and like be on the road for 2 years for that thing, and we didn't want to do that. We just wanted to go and do something, a little something special for hardcore fans here in Europe, and it worked great, and we had the good turnouts at the shows and stuff. So, but everybody else can watch it on the DVD. So,
perhaps a hard question, but if you would have to describe the differences between the first Kataklysm albums and the songs that you played on the 25th anniversary tour, and Meditations, to someone who does not know the band, how would you describe the differences? What would you say?
Well, the first albums, it was very, very chaotic, and the reason being is we were all in high school and very much like the typical angry teenagers that got together and form a band just to be angry, and and that's how it came out back in the day. And it's also funny enough, we were not the best musicians, but I think we got noticed because of all the chaos and the aggressiveness of the early stuff, and it was so all over the place that the record label was like, man, here's a record deal, and we didn't even know what to do with that. We were like, a record deal? So we started our career like that, and I think now 25 years later, we're all grown adults, and we learn our craft. Like we know how to write music or songs. We know we know about our musicianship has evolved so much, and like that whole journey that we went through. So it's pretty much the results of all that you can hear on the latest record. So it's cool for someone that goes back and see where it all started. But I think we came a long way for sure.
That's for sure. If you compare the last couple of albums and the last one, would you agree that the songs are a bit shorter, also more melodic and mid-tempo?
Mm-hmm. I mean, the shorter songs, actually, it wasn't really intended that way. It just ended up to be that way because we were songwriting and while arranging all the songs, we started noticing like, hey man, we wrote like 4 tracks and they're all like 2 minutes long, and we were debating, is this a good thing or not, or should we care or not, and we chose to not care and just leave it the way they were because we thought they were great like that. But like, we could have very well said like, okay, let's try to stretch things a little more, but I think they're to the point. And then I really love the song Narcissus because that's one of those that's like super short, but it was a statement for the message of the lyrics at the same time. It's just like, it doesn't need longer. It's just like, bam, that's it.
Kataklysm has videos for each song of the previous album of Ghosts and Gods, 10 in total. Mm-hmm. So far there are 4 videos from the Meditations album. I guess this time you won't be able to make videos for all the songs.
Yeah, we had the idea a long time ago, and we're like, man, maybe that would be cool to have like visual for all the clips and stuff. And then while we were making that whole video project, we realized that it's not easy and it's a lot of work. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's hard to keep it interesting. Like if you want to make something that's visually interesting with every song, and you have to think all these things through, and obviously we don't have like $1 million to invest in all that, and it was a cool project. We're happy to have done it like for that record, but will we do it ever again? Probably not. I think I'm happier doing like 1 or 2 clips for the record, quality ones, and that's it.
My favorite video from the last album is for the song Outsider. Can you tell us a bit more about that one?
Yeah, I think it was the idea was like to make it really like a Twilight Zone kind of thing. That was our main idea, and we wanted to describe the lyrics of the song, which is about living in this world, but kind of like the guy that's outside everything, and we feel like that in our music with the scene, because we feel we're a metal band, but we always had our sound and did our own thing, and we feel that we're like, whenever we tour, it's kind of like our own world, and we don't quite mix that great with everybody else, like we always felt like we were outsiders of the music scene, and that's kind of why we wrote that song. But we're trying to find a cool concept for the video. We put a few ideas on the table, and then I really love the way it turned out. So.
What do you think has kept you as a band and individually focused all these years? Because 25 years, it's a long time. Does it help that you're also active in other bands like Ex Deo?
I mean, as a musician, you're very passionate about what you do. So I really don't see myself doing anything else. Sometimes, like, I feel like the part of the traveling bothers me a little bit, like all the flights here and there, and it gets a little bit crazy, you know, like checking in at the airport and with all the luggage and stuff. That part I could do without, but everything else, I really love what I do. We love what we do. We're all brothers in the band. We get along really well, and we hope we can do it for a long time still. But who knows? Like, I mean, we always said the one day we're on stage and we're not having fun anymore, then that's when we're gonna quit.
Yeah.
I think we don't want to keep doing it just like for a paycheck. That's one thing we put straight between all of us. So I'm pretty sure we have a good 10 years to go before that moment happened, but who knows.
You started the Dead is Just a Beginning tour 2 weeks ago, also with Hypocrisy and The Spirit. How has it been so far, besides all the hassle?
It's been super fun, because we've toured with Hypocrisy like 15, 20 years ago. We did many tours together, and it's kind of like going back to that type of friendliness and just a good vibe, and at the same time we're all older, so we remember the crazy times, and now we all age a lot and we're still having a good time, but it's like there's no more stupid craziness at night, but it's
and it all, if you behave stupidly, it ends up on YouTube way too fast.
Yeah. But no, it's been great, and I missed those guys a lot over the years, and it's good to see them again with us, and sharing everything, the equipment, the bus and stuff, and it's just been good all the way. Nothing bad to say.
It's a co-headlining tour. Does that mean that you sometimes do not play as the last band, or does Kataklysm always performs as the last band?
Yeah, we're performing as the last band, because that's all the agencies, the logistic were done that way, and that's what they wanted. I'm cool with it, though. Sometimes that would be nice to play before and just party a little bit after the show, because when you're the last band on, that's the thing that sucks. You're off stage, and then everybody's gone, and then the night's over, and you can't really party much before, because you want to be sober to play a good show. So it's kind of like it's like a catch-22. It's cool to be like the big rock star band at the end, but like as far as having fun, it's not always the best. So
I checked some of the set lists from the previous days. You play 14 songs, if I'm not mistaken. 4 from Meditations. How do you decide on a set list for a tour like this? Of course, you want to play the new material, but the fans always want to hear the classics as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's always a struggle with us, because we have 13 records now, so it's hard to pick and choose what we're gonna play, and we don't want to repeat what we've done in the previous tour, so we want to offer something new, but we don't want to go too modern, because it's boring for like say if you come and you play only Meditations, like it's too new, and I think like the fans will want to hear the classic as well, but we don't want to go too old, because some people don't remember the first album, or they were not even born when they came out. So all these things, so we try to kind of put all that on paper and see and come up with ideas and see what makes sense for everybody, because we also want to have fun playing the songs, so we're trying to make something fun that everybody is going to think it's cool. So that's always our goal, but so far it turned out pretty good on this one.
Based on the audience and fan reactions you got so far, what are the most popular songs from Meditations in your opinion?
I think the 4 songs that we chose to play, they all go over great every night. So, and a lot of fans told me that they like it even better live than the record, just because of that energy and stuff. And that's good to hear. So I'm happy, because like sometimes you come out with a new album and the new songs like are kind of like the ones that don't go over as well as the others. But this go around, it's working great, and we're very happy.
In April, Ex Deo was touring with Insiferum as headliner. This tour is probably rather different in some ways.
Yeah, because I mean they're so the Ex Deo and Kataklysm, they're 2 different beasts, and so we approach them very differently. For Ex Deo, we can kind of let go a little bit more crazy in the
Less stressful?
a bit less stressful, for sure, and we can go a little bit more crazy in the. Like for me as a guitar player on the melodies and stuff, because we are 2 guitar players in Ex Deo, and we can do a lot more than like with Kataklysm and by myself. So I have to keep a more guitar-driven kind of like simplistic approach to it, but it's all in the hooks and the grooves and stuff. But with Ex Deo, there's a lot more like musicality that opens up, and it's a different thing, and I really like both, and I would hope that the Ex Deo project like kind of develops a little bigger, so we can do more with it. It's I'd love that, but we'll see. We're working maybe on a future record for that as well, and we'd like to release it in the next few years.
Is it difficult to make the switch, because like I mentioned, we saw you in April on that tour, and then in June the new Kataklysm came out. In July you played at Graspop, if I'm not mistaken. So you're switching from one project to one band to the other. Is it like some days of adjusting, or is it like just a switch and okay, now I'm in an Ex Deo state of mind?
It's kind of, I gotta be honest, it's not that easy. I think it works if it's like tours that are apart like that. If we were to play like an Ex Deo show and then right after Kataklysm, it would not work that great, because you have to kind of, it's like switching your brain to a different language, like, because I speak French or English, like you have to kind of switch your brain. It's the same. And also I feel like in the computer of my brain, like I can only retain so much music, and then it's almost like you have to delete and make room for the other piece of music, and so it's hard to remember all these things, and like all the different tunings for the guitars, and like the little tweaks here and there that you have to think about while you're playing live. And I think it's not that easy.
So it wouldn't be the best or the easiest shows for you if you had to play at a festival as Ex Deo and Kataklysm on the same day or the same weekend?
We did it once, and I think after that we said never again. It was a festival in Czech Republic, and it was like we played Ex Deo at like 2 or 3 o'clock, and Kataklysm was in the evening. We had a little break in the middle, but still, it was just too much.
Do you have already an idea which bands you will be touring with next summer? If it will be mainly Ex Deo or mainly Kataklysm for the summer festivals next year?
I think next year there's not gonna be any Kataklysm festivals, because we did a lot this year, and we always kind of give it a break. Like, and we also, to be honest, we were talking together about just being home in the summer, because we haven't done that in a while, and we all agreed that it would be nice to be with our families and just barbecue and do the normal thing that we don't get to do as musicians, because summer is always festival time, and we're always traveling back and forth. So that's probably going to be the plan for next summer, and then we'll come back in force the summer after that and do everything again. But we'll see. Like I said, Ex Deo is all about the offers. If we do get the offers, we'll for sure jump on it, because we want to push it more. But we don't get as many as for like Kataklysm, which is a bit more famous in the music world. So
I have a last question. If you could organize your own festival with your 3 or 5 artists, dead or alive, who would you pick? It doesn't have to be metal. It can be Neil Young, whatever.
I would mix a bunch of things together. I would do something like Radiohead headliner with the Deftones and Iron Maiden and some underground stuff. Like, but probably like add Kataklysm on there with Ex Deo and some other cool like metal bands like Testament or Pantera if they were still able to play, something like that. That's what I would do.
Thank you so much for your time.
Only in this world,